I am too broke to live in the United States. And I am currently living in Merida, Mexico, which is in the Yucatan Peninsula. I know a lot of people don't even know what Merida is, but it's like 3 to 4 hours away from like Cancun and Playa del Carmen on the like south of like the Gulf of Mexico, basically. It's really hot all year round, but it is way more affordable than living in Phoenix, Arizona, where I was living for like 2.5 years. And like just going to just do basic maintenance things that I like to do as a woman, like getting, ooh, excuse me, like getting my nails done or like just mani pedi, facials, massages, getting my hair done, going to restaurants, which that's just like, people like to go out to eat. Just different things like that is literally like at least 50% cheaper when it comes to different services. Now, when it comes to like meals, it's different. And I realized that I like to get massages. And when I was living in Phoenix, I've had a lot of like issues, like a pinched nerve, and then like, oh, my back, oh, this, oh, that. And I was going to the chiropractor every single week and getting massages every week. And that was like over $100 a week just to do those things. And I know here it would be maybe about half the price or even just like a third of the price. It's just more affordable. I haven't been to a chiropractor here, but massages are definitely more affordable here than they are back in the States. Like you may be paying over $100 for like a 90-minute massage, and then you still gotta tip people, right? I like to tip people, that's a personal preference. And I've also noticed, like I've had some YouTube shorts showing how much I paid to get like my hair done, how much I paid to get my nails done, things like that. Which, by the way, I forgot to tip the lady at the hair salon, and I felt bad because I was like, oh, I usually tip, but sometimes here they won't ask you if you want to tip, so they'll just like pay straight on a card, and there's no line to write down the tip. So it's very much like a cash kind of, they usually like cash for tip. And sometimes I was just having a good time with the ladies there, and I just was not thinking about, oh crap, I forgot to tip her. But usually I tip. But yeah, like it would have cost me about double that amount. Like I paid about $35 to get my hair basically like trimmed and straightened and stuff the other day. And that would have cost me double than what I paid. And that's for like a salon that's not like super duper special. Like if it was more of a specialized salon for curly hair, I would have been paying at least $100. That's about 3 trips at the salon here, and it's just hard. I know I'm talking about the price difference between the United States and like Mexico, but in Phoenix, everything was just so expensive and housing was so expensive. And I've been to a couple of like what do they call those? Open houses. And I would see the house, and the house might be nice, but they're overpriced. Like these are like close to $1 million houses, and the realtor would be like, yeah, due to what happened in 2019, 2020, things basically doubled in price, and housing prices have doubled. Like this place might have been only like $500,000 and now it's $1 million. Things like that would happen a lot. And a lot more people were just moving into the Phoenix, Arizona area. So Phoenix just became very expensive. And a lot of people from California and from Chicago and other places were moving to Phoenix. But Phoenix is just only one city in the United States, but I feel like the United States as a whole is pretty expensive. And yeah, if you live in the middle of nowhere, if you live in certain areas that are like less popular and less people want to live there, it is a little more affordable. It is less expensive. Like back where I'm from, upstate New York, the population isn't increasing a lot there because there's rough winters, and most people don't like the rough winters. Some people do, but like the apartment we used to live in, like during like the whole thing that happened in 2019, 2020, I think we were paying like $1,200 a month. And now if I wanted to live there now, it would probably be like $1,500 to $1,600 for the same apartment. And I'm like, wow. In a place that's not like happening, not like a place that's like super popular that a lot of people want to live, you're gonna charge $1,500 to $1,600 for this apartment. I just think it's insane. And like, I know it feels like this video is all over the place, but this is just coming, I'm just spilling out what's coming out of me. It's just, and I'm like, I want to live a certain lifestyle. In the United States, it's just, everything's so expensive. Like if you go out to dinner with like you and someone else, you're probably paying at least $60 if you want to go to like a decent restaurant. We're not talking about just going quickly to a fast food restaurant. And even fast food has gotten pricey too. And so like you might be spending at least $20 at a fast food place for 2 people. But going to a sit down, you're paying at least $60. And this is just like a mid-range, like basic restaurant. It's not like super special. And then obviously if it's, you know, more than basic, you're paying $100+. Like you're paying a lot of money just to go out to eat. It's just, everything's pricey, as well as like even groceries are just so expensive. And I know there's like a debate about like healthy food isn't really expensive and like processed food, like this debate. And let me tell you something, for someone who likes to eat fruit like berries, the little ass carton that you get, it's like $6-7. So you telling me a $6-7 little, it may not even fill up a cup, and you're telling me that's not expensive for the average person? It's expensive because someone can just get like, I don't know, a couple of bags of chips, and calorically it's more calories than that little thing of berries. I mean, nutrition wise, is the berries better? Of course, but it's like $6, $7, $8 for these berries. Okay, sometimes if it's in season, it might be $3 or $4, so that makes sense. You have to shop within season. But like, it's like the stuff that's supposed to be so-called healthy and like whole foods, they're expensive. They are pricey. So I just don't, I'm not 100% convinced about the whole like, oh, eating healthy is not more expensive. It kind of is, unless you want to have a very, very basic ass diet where you're just eating potatoes and bananas, you know what I'm saying? And like some dried beans and rice. Yeah, if you want to eat basic like that, I guess it's cheap because you could buy those in bulk, but most people don't want to eat that way, and it's just not realistic that most people are going to eat that way. But everything is just expensive, and then in the United States, it's just like everything's just really expensive. And I know around the world, everything's gotten more expensive. Like in Mexico, food is still kind of pricey. Food can be pretty pricey. Depending on what you're getting, of course. If you're getting anything imported, of course, it's going to be way more expensive. All that to say is that, yeah, like, I don't know how a lot of y'all do it, like, living in the United States, and, like, the prices are so high, and, like, it's just like a lot of like sacrifices, I guess, because it's like people will be like, okay, they want to, like, you want to feel like a lady, you want to feel like a woman, you want to do these different maintenance things. People say, well, you could do those things at home. Yeah, some things you can do at home, but think about it. Like, if you go to a professional, they could do it in like an hour or two. You're at home and you might be taking several hours, or you might be it's taking up a lot of your time. And I feel like time is more important than money, because like you could always earn more money, but you can't earn more time. You know what I mean? Time is not as like infinite, I feel like, in our human bodies as like money is. And so I was like, well, I'd rather just not spend, because for me, I would spend 4 hours. Okay, maybe I'm just an outlier, I don't know, but I would spend 4 hours doing my nails at home. My nails and my feet at home, and it was getting tired and exhausting. This is me doing gel at home, and I was like, this is just too much. I just rather go somewhere and just spend an hour or two. Someone does my nails. I have communication with someone. I'm, going outside. I'm just, have my appointment and be done with it. And it looks good and it's done. But I know like a lot of people sometimes can't do that and you have to do it at home. And it's just like, but for me, it feels like the US has just gone way too expensive. Like, everything just costs way more than it should, it feels like. And I know basic things like food and rent are just like ridiculous. Like, everything just feels really high. And if you want to splurge or do something nice or go on vacation, it's just like, it feels almost like a burden to even want to even have the desire to do those kinds of things feels like a burden, because it's like, well, how am I supposed to afford to do that, right? Or you always have to be pinching pennies. And I feel like now it just keeps getting worse as far as like the economy and how those things are. And for the average person, I don't know how, like, it's just, it's crazy. Like, everything is just pricey. I'm trying to have more of a positive mindset about it, even though it sounds very negative. I feel like, yeah, for the average person, you can't really go on vacations. You can't really get like your lady maintenance stuff. You have to be so-called a low maintenance girl because you can't afford to be higher maintenance. Especially in the United States, you're gonna have, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really make it average income and have it, like, for me, I'm sorry, but like, sorry, not sorry. Like, I like to be able to get massages and facials. Like, okay, let me tell y'all, be real here. So when I was in Phoenix, this was how it was. Okay, and it costs hundreds and hundreds of dollars that I was spending a month, because if I'm getting massages every week and going to a chiropractor, that was like, how much was that? It might have been $135. So if I got like an hour massage and got everything else, I think it might have been $135. If I gotten a 30 minutes of massage, it might have been about $100, something around there. So that's every single week, okay? Getting manicures and pedicures, that was like twice a month, okay? And that was like over $100 each time, okay? Because I'm getting like, I'm getting a fill. Fills are obviously, actually, I felt like fills and full sets were similar price. I don't know why they were, but it felt like a similar price. I didn't feel like I was saving that much money if I got like a full set. But anyway, so a fill and like, a pedicure. And by the time you're paying tip and stuff, you're looking at like $100, and that's like every 2 weeks. And then I would get facials, and I signed up for like a membership, and the membership was like $100 a month. So $100 a month I'm paying for a facial, right? Then I have to get like, nicer stuff for my skin because I'm over 30, right? I'm in my mid 30s and I need like nicer skincare, and that's hundreds of dollars, right? Even though it's supposed to last a couple months, you're still paying a couple $100s for this skincare, okay? So you have that. And then you want to go, and I'm not someone who gets their hair done all the time, so I can't imagine people who are buying like real lace front wigs, like human hair wigs. Those are a couple $100. People getting like brow laminations, that's a lot. I don't even do that stuff. So I'll sometimes buy wigs, but my wigs are like fake, right? They're not human hair, so they're a lot cheaper, but they don't last as long. But anyway, so I would get these things done, and then my facial, okay, so it's like about $100, and I'm tipping people, right? Because, US is a tipping economy, right? We tip people because, we're not gonna get into that. So then, you gotta add the tips and stuff, so, okay. And then if I wanna get eyebrow waxing, that's usually pretty cheap. It's like, $10 or something to get the eyebrows waxed like once a month or something. What else was I getting done? My hair. So my hair I would get done usually every 2 to 3 months, and that's gonna cost like at least $100. And I'm not someone who goes to get my hair done all the time. So if there was someone who was like always getting a silk press every 2 weeks at a salon, that would be quite a bit of money. And then also I like to eat out, and eating out in Phoenix is expensive, right? Or if I want to eat organic, it's expensive. I want to eat organic berries. They say you should eat organic berries. Well, organic berries is going to cost you, a lot of money. Unless you do a scavenger hunt and you go to maybe a mom and pop place, And even then, sometimes, okay, be positive here. Some mom and pop places are great and they have high quality things and they're good. Some mom and pop places, that's all I'm gonna say. You're better off just going to the store for some. Okay? So I'm not knocking all. There's no all when it comes to that. So you wanna eat organic, you wanna eat healthy foods, but that's expensive. You want to go and get your massage, because I do need massages, like, okay, like my muscles and stuff, and I'm like having a pinched nerve and stuff, so I need that. The facials, so I can, have a youthful and beautiful skin, you know, you need that. And it's just like, oh, if I want to get anything extra than a basic facial, that's more money. There's just these different maintenance and stuff to just like feel good and to be, in a gym, like a gym membership too. Like I stopped my gym membership a few months before coming here, but when I had a gym membership, you got to pay for that too. Unless you have an apartment where they have a gym, which I think our apartment had a gym, so I would use that and I would walk around a lot. But like, and gas money, and car insurance, health insurance. I'm forgetting about that stuff. I'm just talking about just me, like basic maintenance of like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't know. It's just so expensive. I'm like so done with it. Like it's so ridiculous. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm too broke to live in the United States. Like this stuff is just way too expensive. And I rather live somewhere cheaper that I can do the maintenance that I want to do for my body and it not break the bank, and like able to still save and able to like do other things and be able to experience life a little bit easier because it's not as expensive. Because living in the US, especially, Phoenix is one of the more pricey cities to live in, okay? Phoenix used to not be as expensive, is what I've heard, but now it's more pricey. And I want to live in a place where there's good weather. And back at home, like we would say things like a $60 meal in like Phoenix might be $45. In like Rochester, Buffalo, New York, it might be more like $45. It's a little bit cheaper because the economy is different, because it's the economy is different based on the location where you live. If there's not as many people who live there and they don't make as much money, they can't charge as much as they can in Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a different economy. It's a just different area. We know that these major cities, like everything just costs significantly more. Or if you're in like living in Montana or North or South Dakota, they may not be charging $60 for a normal meal for two people. It might be more like, $35, $40, $45. I don't know. I've never been those places, but if you're from there, you'll know what I'm talking about. I know this video is kind of long, but I don't know. I just was, I guess, venting about like how expensive things are, and like, I can't afford to live in the United States if I want to have the certain lifestyle that I want. You know what I mean? I like to, like here, I go to like a Pilates studio. If I went to a Pilates studio back at home, it would cost so much money. So much money. Like, you'd be paying $15, $20 for a class. Just one class, $15, $20. Let me tell you something. The Pilates studio that I go to, it's about, I would say about $55 a month for 8 classes. Yeah, you heard that right. So we'll round it up. We'll say $60 a month for 8 classes. You know what I mean? That's less than $10 a class. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and I know back at home, it would be $15, $20 a class. You would be paying hundreds a month, like probably $100, $150 a month just to go to a Pilates studio. Like things like that would be so expensive. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. This is just my life and my perspective on things. it's just hard to live in the United States when, if you're making like an average income or even a slightly above average income. I feel like if you're making like less than like 125,000, it's gonna be hard. Maybe even less than 150,000. It's gonna be hard to want to have like, okay, the basics plus some delighters plus some, like, you know, fun stuff in there, being able to go to vacation a few times a year or a couple times a year, having just a nice car. It doesn't even have to be like super duper like nice, you know what I mean? But like having a nice car and like be able to go to the Pilates studio, be able to go get your nails done, be able to go and just get like hair trims every 2 to 3 months. If I ever want to do anything where I'm like, oh, I want to get my hair dyed and like wear highlights and stuff, and I want to take proper care of it, I would have to go to the salon more often and get protein treatments and all these things. And I wouldn't be able to afford to do that. And I know the average person isn't able to afford to do that either. Like, I know that, right? Like, but I just feel like, and I know life isn't fair, but I'm just like, why, if I want to live a certain lifestyle and I know that the United States, I can't do that living in the United States, then it's like, why would I be there? And like I said, I like the US, I do. But I just notice, I'm like, why would I live somewhere where I can't have the lifestyle that I want? And that's kind of what I've been thinking about a little bit. And this is what I wanted to talk about. So I know some of us can't move, or we have to move back and things like that. It's kind of depressing, but anyway, I think I've said enough. I'm just too broke because of my lifestyle. Too broke to live in the United States because of my lifestyle. If I wanted a basic ass lifestyle, very basic, where I got like super low maintenance, I didn't never go to the nail salon, I don't go to the hair salon, I trim my own hair, I do this, I do that. Obviously, the price would be significantly less. Oh, I don't pay for a gym membership or all these different things, right? Okay, cool. And some people are okay living that way, and they're okay and they're prideful about that, and that's fine. But I don't want to live that way. I just don't. I don't. But anyway, what you guys think? I'll talk to you later. Bye.